wet weather squarely in the forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Washington football team. Brandon Gaudin, as always, joined by my good friend Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Niners in this matchup. They think they can run the football in this one, but there's a group on the other sideline that thinks otherwise.
Yeah, it's always intriguing when you pit an offense against a defense. It seems like they can cancel each other out. We've got a top 5 rushing offense against a top 5 defense. So a lot of times it comes down to execution and maybe a little bit of that, what coaches call want to.
In the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in week 4. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And look at this, right away a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten the yard down to the 16. And keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
They'll run with Gibson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. His 6th touchdown on the ground, number 7 overall. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead. Solid finish to a solid opening drive, and that's the threat that he represents. He can take off and score on you.
What he makes it is 11-on-11 football, because a lot of the times the quarterback isn't much of a runner, so you don't have to account for him. Well, you do with him, and now he actually gets a lead blocker instead, and he's able to cash that one in.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors, and guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. Well, this Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, and in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
A huge play there for Washington.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington going to add on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a handoff to Hunt running left. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Here's Lance to throw it. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. This is the tight end Fant. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A big play there on the catch and run. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
And we see plays like this quite a bit when you allow a quarterback to get out of the pocket, because it's really easy for a defender to lose sight of the receiver. His eyes often go to the quarterback maneuvering, and this time it led to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Looking to throw. Buying time to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. What a first quarter. Boom, you're up 3 scores just like that, and the offense clicking.
And they're thinking to themselves, we can totally overwhelm this team. Now flip it over. They're going to get the ball back.
Yeah.
Can't panic here. Talk to yourselves one play at a time to try and get back in.
And that's cliche, but really that's the message. This is still very early on in the game. We're in the first quarter.
If you look at it as down 20, then you almost have no shot.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
On 2nd down, right back to Hunt. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lawrence. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
He'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
1st and goal, forget running the football, forget establishing anything. Just put it in the end zone with the pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard there. They weren't expecting that.
And that totally goes against type, doesn't it? When you think 1st and goal from the 1, you're thinking running play.
They'll try and throw for it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Let's take it inside his own 40. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run with Hunt. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
This drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Niners on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Lance. This is caught. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Hunt. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt. The Lance going to throw. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the 49ers get a score closer. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead now down to 20. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Jones. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. Well, it doesn't matter where you put him, lined up in the backfield or split out like he was there. He can be a weapon when he gets that ball in his hands. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. He finds his man, complete. That's Lawrence. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Second and 4. Escaping the pressure right. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the 49ers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
To throw, it's Lance.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half.
And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out.
That is taken in by the tight end Fant.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
A give to Gibson running right.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. They're going to look to throw.
Left side here, that's the tight end Fant.
And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Lance. Complete to the tight end Kittle over the middle of the field. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Lance now on 1st down. Swings this out for Hunt. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Lance. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Again, it's Lance. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before half for Lance. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. So we have come. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Niners are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the 3rd quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Lance looking to throw it. And that is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So here is Washington now to take over. Last week, good result. They were able to beat the Detroit Lions, and now they are on the good side of the scoreboard right now as well. And some space here. The 20. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson,
his second touchdown on the season.
And the Washington offense just continuing to pour it on. McPherson on for the point after.
And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Niners set to take over on offense.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Throwing on first down is Lance.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
And Lance now to throw. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Byron Murphy.
And he will bring this one back. It is a pick-6 for a Washington touchdown.
This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And they gave up the pick-6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And Hunt is not going to get there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. A handoff for Gibson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. And there's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
Double tight. 3 down. 31's the mic. Oh, you got D. Go.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack the
touchdown Washington. Anthony Schwartz.
His first touchdown on the year.
And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. That time a 6-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field.
They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Looking to throw. Lance.
And Kittle catching the slant.
That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Back now here in Santa Clara. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Niners on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Flush to his right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30.
All told, that a 55-yard punt with a net of 40 after the return.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Washington on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now back to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Raekwon Davis. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
They'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end fan. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flushed out right. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Watch the safety creep.
They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, Almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
That's how you score.
An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Washington offense just continuing to pour it on. McPherson now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Well, the 49ers settling in for their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. On first down, Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On first and 10, here's Lance. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Shotgun now for Lance. Open man is Samuel, complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you've won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that you know, team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game. And when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. Out to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Lawrence. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he fires one incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line is really starting to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. The Lance going to throw.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On play action, they'll throw. On the move to his left. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the 49ers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and